Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Jakara. And today I decided to do a different type of video. Generally, I do DIYs and makeovers, home makeovers, and gardening things, and garden design and all that stuff. And in the past, I've done other things like I used to do makeup tutorials. I used to do clothing hauls and fashion and all of that and travel. And I was kind of done everything on this channel. I have a lot of new followers, and I was going to do this type of video a couple weeks ago, but I decided to postpone it because I was hoping to get more feedback from you guys regarding, what questions you may have. This is a Q&A. So instead of doing that, and I didn't want to do another like makeover thing or DIY, I'm really kind of struggling with my energy. And I don't know if you guys have this, but during this time of year, I generally have issues with like my mood, and when there's more gray days and there's more cold weather, and the colder it gets, the more gray it gets, the less energy I have. And you could call it maybe seasonal affective disorder if you want. That would be kind of the technical term of it, but I have found myself struggling more and more, as like I said, as the season has gotten colder and the days have gotten grayer, and I can't be outside as much as I'd like to be. And so I the high energy projects that I normally want to do, and the makeovers that I want to do, I just do not have the energy for. Now, I was kind of reluctant of sharing this with you guys because the last time I was vulnerable and kind of talked about how tired I was, or that I was feeling burnt out or whatever, I got this comment that said that I was complaining too much and that they weren't going to sit around and watch me complain. So, which is, that person's prerogative if that's what they want to do. I'm not going to, stop them from unsubscribing or whatever. So, I figured I might lose some subscribers here by talking about this, but I just want to be honest, and I just want to be myself. And in doing so, I'm being human, and I'm saying to you that I am feeling really burnt out, and that I need a break. There are some projects that I do want to get done before the end of the year. I want to do something special for my birthday, which is coming up on December 10th. And, something to give back to you guys. To thank you for rocking with me all this time, or even the new people who've come over from TikTok and everything, who are supporting me. So I definitely want to do something for you guys to say thank you. But high energy projects that require a lot of physical labor, and a lot of mental labor too. I am trying to give myself a break from that for right now. So today we're going to do a Q&A. I hope you enjoy this Q&A. I decided to use my daughter's questions, 3,000 questions about me, just to let people know if they want to know more about me. If you can't figure it out from watching my videos here. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to just pick 10 random questions, and every once in a while I do a Q&A like this. I will talk about just random things and answer random questions. To start off, there was one subscriber who asked me a few questions, and I did try to answer that person in the post that I made on the community page. One was, why don't I wear my religious scarf and all that stuff anymore? And I think they asked me if my husband or ex-husband was a doctor too, and no, my ex-husband is not a doctor. He is a nurse, but yeah, he is not a doctor, but he does work in the medical field as a nurse. So that, and then what was the other question? Oh yeah, how do I determine how I budget things for this, like my projects and everything? So I generally set a budget, and sometimes I go over it, sometimes I don't, but I try to keep the budget below $100, $100, $200 maximum for a project. It has to equal the amount that I would potentially make on the video through views through my AdSense. So before that, I was probably a little bit more generous. Before I entered the YouTube partner program, I was probably spending a lot of money on a lot of things, just to make a video. But now I decided that in the last year, I decided that I was going to only kind of cap the budget to, you never know how a video is going to go. So a video the AdSense may be way more than I expected or way less than I expected, but I try to pick an average, which to me, I think $100 to $200 is a good average. And depending on, obviously the project. Some projects are free. Like last week, I cleaned my closet and that was totally free. So yeah, you have to think about that way. Why I don't wear my scarf anymore, I think I talked about this in my 10-year YouTube anniversary video. I had been wearing, I grew up, just to give you a background, I grew up Muslim. I was raised in the faith of Islam, and I would only wear my scarf for like school, because I went to a Muslim school at one point, and then I would, for prayer, and whenever we got together as a community, I would wear it. But generally, in my everyday life, I wasn't wearing it. I never felt like it really fit me, and that I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to do it. When I came back from my trip from Egypt and Morocco, and I realized how easy it was for people to be Muslim in those countries. It's very difficult to be Muslim in America. It is. It's just, you're othered, you're, treated poorly, and people have such preconceived ideas about it. And so I felt how easy it was when I went on those trips. I was like, oh, finally I get to be, with people who do dress this way, and it's normal, and nobody looks twice or thinks crazy ideas about it or anything. And it was just like a freedom that I felt when I was on that trip. And I did start to feel like I wanted to wear my hijab. And so I wore for a couple years. And then I started to hit menopause because I had a surgery. I had a hysterectomy in 2019. And after I had the hysterectomy, I went into full menopause, like hot flashes and sweating and just mood changes and irritability, all the things. It was terrible. And I would be at work and I'd have my hijab on and I would be so uncomfortable, like sweating. And I just couldn't wait to take it off. Like I would get home and I'd be like, just take it all off. And so then I switched to hats. So then I started wearing a lot of hats. I mean, I had already worn hats even previous to wearing hijab. And I, enjoyed wearing the hats. I mean, they were a great way for self-expression. And I love hats. It was consistent with like the fashion content that I was creating. And I love that. So, and then eventually the hats got to be a little bit too much. Like I was having uncomfortable hot flashes and just so many symptoms from menopause that I took the hats off too, because it just got to be too much. And I don't like things really around my neck. And yeah, it was a lot. So, and then I know this is a long story. Please stick with me. 2019, I went through kind of a spiritual awakening that kind of took me through this transition. And at this point in that transition, there are many iterations of this kind of journey I went on. And currently, I do not practice any particular religion. Yes, I do still have a lot of the same beliefs, that are consistent with Islam, but I don't think that I would not call myself a practicing Muslim. Does that make sense? I feel like at this point in my journey, I have kind of moved beyond all religion, in the sense I don't need a religion to express my spirituality and my live my life in a moral way. And so, yeah, that's the long story as to why I stopped wearing hijab. And I don't have anything against anybody who does, or or any other religion or anything like that. Like, I don't, no. For me, it just doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't align anymore. So that is why. Someone did ask me if I subscribed it. Also, I think this was the same person who asked me about financial stuff. I will not discuss beyond the budget for the videos and everything. I'm not going to discuss my personal financial situation. But yeah, so those were all the questions I got from subscribers. And so I'm just going to dive into the book now. I'm going to do, like I said, 10 questions from the book. Hopefully they'll be easy questions and not long-winded. And if you're stuck with me so far, give me a thumbs up for this video. Like I said, I'm trying to take it kind of easy in the next couple of weeks, just to give myself some time to rejuvenate my, passion and enthusiasm and everything. So anyway, let me put on some glasses, and I already just turned randomly to a page in the book. And the first question I see is, do you prefer texting or talking on the phone? Well, texting. I prefer texting. I feel like it depends though. Okay. When I was dating, I prefer talking on the phone, because I feel like you can't really get people's like tone and the meaning necessarily behind the feeling behind what they're saying through texting. So if I'm trying to get to know someone, I definitely prefer calling on the phone or talking on the phone. But if it's just kind of like information exchange, I would rather you just text me, because I really don't like being on the phone in general. That's just not a thing. I'm an introverted person, and it's just not a thing for me. Like I said, unless you're like far away and we can't get together personally and I need to, get to know you, then yeah, the phone is fine. But if it's none of that, and my family knows, just text me, and then I can quickly text you back, and then that's the end of it. I can go back to doing what I was doing. In fact, I don't even answer most phone calls. All right, let's switch to a different page. Let's go random. I'm just gonna go to random page. Next page. Let's see. Sorry, I have to put my glasses on. What is the best thing to happen to you this year? Ooh, gosh, that's a good question. What is the best thing to happen to me this year? There was so many good things, to be honest. I think the best thing that happened to me this year is that I quit my job. I know that sounds weird, but I am so happy that I am not working as a doctor anymore. I'm so much happier. I just am. I And to be honest, I don't think that I will ever go back. You know, I that's that's the short answer. I won't get into all the reasons why I'm happier, but that's probably the best thing that happened to me this year. All right, next question. Switching through this book. Let's see. All right. Oh, what do you love to do for me time? Oh gosh, I needed a lot of me time. As I said before, I'm introverted. In fact, I suspect highly that I'm autistic in a lot of ways, and I know that's controversial to say. You know, a lot of people are like saying they are, but I have solid evidence, and I'm going to be evaluated for that soon. And yeah, I'm undiagnosed. Clearly, I haven't been diagnosed, but self-diagnosis, they said, is valid as well. And being almost 55, when I was younger, it would have been missed anyway, because I'm not the typical person you would look for in that category. Very high functioning, but yeah, I have a lot of, just trust me on that. But anyway, the question was, what do I do for me time? So I require a lot of me time. I need to be able to meditate. Meditation is part of my me time. Just zoning out in front of the television, or just even scrolling. If some call it doom scrolling, I don't call it that. But, a lot of times I'm looking for information online and, researching something. When I used to ballroom dance, that was my me time too. When I used to bodybuild, that was my me time. I feel like my me time is anything that helps me regulate my nervous system, that helps me increase my joy, my daily joy, and work on my passions. Those are my me time. Doing my art. I have a whole art channel. If you haven't checked it out, I have the link in the description below. I create art, and that is part of my me time as well. I like doing my nails. Anything artistic and creative is me time for me. Even creating content for this channel is my me time. So any way that I can express myself creatively, or anything that helps me self-regulate my nervous system. All right, next question. I think we're on like question number 4. Let's see. What is your favorite restaurant? Okay, so sorry, I don't like the glare on the glasses. Let's see. My favorite restaurant. Well, it used to be, we had a restaurant near Chicago in one of the western suburbs. That was a French restaurant, and it was called Mon Ami Gabi. I love that restaurant. I used to go there all the time. I would like just take myself out on dates at this restaurant, and I missed it so much. They closed down during COVID, and I was so brokenhearted. I was like, oh no. So yeah, that was my favorite restaurant. If I had to pick one now, I don't really have one, because there's nothing around here that I really, would just like love to eat at all the time. My favorite restaurant now is just eating at home. Cooking for myself and eating at home. But if you had to pick something, I would pick like probably a pizza place, a pizzeria that I like to go to, like either a Home Run Inn, or Lou Malnati's, or something like that. Something with some pizza, because pizza is my favorite food. Anyway, next question. Next, let's see. Let's look on this side. What hobby or activity do you think is totally boring that other people enjoy? Okay, there's a lot. Everybody enjoys, we all have different things that we enjoy, right? Things that we just love to give our time to. I remember when I was younger being forced to go fishing. I do not like fishing. It is so boring to me, and I don't like putting the worm on the hook, and I hated everything about it. My mother loves to fish. Like, that's one of her favorite pastimes. And I just would be like, I don't want to go. Please don't make me go. And now, of course, thinking about all of my sensory issues, like the whole sliminess of the worm and the fish and the smell of the water, like, So I'm gonna say that fishing, totally boring. If you love it, I love it for you, but it is not for me. I'm just gonna pick that one. I'm not gonna go into the many others that I think people do. And I'm like, anyway. All right, I think we're on number 6 now, right? I'm not really keeping track, so if it's more than that, please bear with me. Okay, let's do another one. Let's go to the back. Okay. Are you scared of ending up alone? Absolutely not. I like spending my time alone. I like being alone. I travel alone. I eat alone. I like my own company. I prefer my own company most of the time. And I'm not actively dating. I'm not looking to date. I'm not, I leave that in God's hands. If I'm supposed to be with somebody, he'll find somebody for me. That's not even a goal of mine. Companionship is nice. I'm not saying I would never want companionship. I'm just saying that I don't have the fear of being alone because I'm alone a lot. And I like my company. I like having conversations with myself. I talk to myself all the time. And I'm okay with that. And ending up alone, I mean, we're going to all die kind of alone. You can't take anybody with you, right? So, yeah, I mean, I do like having my mom and my daughter around me and some other loved ones in my life, but yeah, I'm good. Being a lonely only, I'm not lonely. I'm not at all. I'm fulfilled. I can fulfill myself. So, no. All right, number 7. Sorry, I have to keep taking because you can see the glare, and I don't like that. So I'm going to keep taking them off. Let's see. Go back here. Would you travel to space if possible? Would I travel to space? I've thought about this before. I would be open to it. Depends on who is driving the vehicle that we're going to be. Who's flying the vehicle that's going to space? Can I trust them? Is it safe? Do I feel like this need to go to space? Absolutely not. Like, I don't need to. It would be interesting if it was a short trip. That would be fine. I wouldn't want to be out in space indefinitely or for a very prolonged period of time because I am claustrophobic. I do not like small spaces. So I wouldn't want to be cooped up in a spacecraft for days and months and years. Like, that sounds like hell to me. Yeah, you can't go outside. Like, no. I don't know. So I would go if it was a short trip and then I get to come back. And then if I could trust the equipment and the people that are running the show that are going to space, sure. As long as I get to come back and be on the earth. All right, and then I got two more, I think. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this is a good question. If you broke down on the side of the road, would you change your own tire without help? Absolutely. I know how to change a flat tire. Like, that's, I think every woman should know how to do that. I think any person should know how to do that. An adult person. You should know how to do certain things if you own a car, even if you don't own a car, if you happen to rent a car or something and something happens, I think there's some basic adult skills you need to know. And I think changing the tire is one. Shout out to my uncle, who, rest in peace, Uncle Walter, who showed me how to do that. And yeah, of course. I mean, of course, if I have AAA, I'm gonna call AAA. But if they're not available, I will just do it myself. It's fine. I can do it. All right. And then I think our last question is, let's see. Let's go to the very front of the book here. Let's see. At what are you self-taught? Okay, so a lot of things. Most of the time, and this is, I have a lot of hyperfixations through to my neurodivergence. I have a lot of hyperfixations, so I have taught myself how to do my nails. I've taught myself how to sing in some ways. I've taught myself how to dance in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously, I've had instruction too. When I was little, I taught myself how to speak French, so certain French words. I didn't speak fluently, and I still don't. But like, I will pick up an interest very easily, and I fixate on it, and I do it to the nth degree, and I just exhaust, and I research and research, and I practice and research. I've taught myself how to draw. I've taught myself how to paint. I've taught myself how to do DIY stuff. That's why I have this whole channel. Like, I taught myself how to learn how to do interior design. I've taught myself how to do makeup even. I don't have any on today, but yeah, I have taught myself a lot of things because, again, I spend a lot of time alone. And it is I use my imagination, and I'm constantly like pulling on creativity and things that interest me, and I just want to do it, like I said, to the nth degree. I want to give it 120%. And so yeah, I've taught myself a lot of things. I think one time, one of the questions I remember one of my subscriber asked was, how do you know how to do all this stuff? How do you know how to use power tools and how to put up wallpaper, or how do you know how to design a room or whatever? I taught myself, and I practiced it. I've practiced it. I watch everything there is about that particular subject, and then I practice it, and I try to get better at it and better at it every time. And I allow myself the space to fail. I allow myself the space to, um, you know, kind of fumble and fall in the beginning, and then eventually you get better. I think a lot of people give up on things too easily. My dog is at the door. Hold on. Anyway, I have taught myself many, many, many things. And that is just how my brain works. If I have an interest in something, I'm going to research it until I exhaust all the research on it. And I give it everything I have. And I will do that for years and years and years and years until I get better. And, sometimes those interests will fall to the wayside, but sometimes they continue. And being creative and, creating things, it's just kind of, that's who I am. That's who I am. And that's the reason why I don't like forcing. I don't like forcing creativity. I like to be inspired. I like inspiring other people. And I hope that you find my channel inspiring. I hope you do stick with me. I know this was a different video, but I didn't want to give you nothing this week. I wanted to at least have this talk with you and hope that you continue to follow me and support me, because it really, really makes a difference in my life when I have support. And yeah, I'll do this regardless whether I have support or not, but it's nice to be, told that people enjoy what you're doing. And I still get, self-satisfaction no matter what. But thank you for being patient. Thank you for getting through this video with me. I know, like I said, I know it's a different video. I will be coming out with other projects. There's a couple more specifically before the end of the year that I want to get done. I'm going to be working on my hallway, my outside hallway, which is like the staircase. I had already started working on it like 3 years ago, but I never finished it. So we're going to be working on that. We're going to be doing more inside projects, and just bear with me. I know that my schedule's been kind of off lately. Like I said, when the weather changes and it gets colder and it gets gray, I'm like zapped, energy zapped. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I have so many of you now. I feel so blessed. I am so grateful to have you here. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Until I see you next time, take care.